Welcome back to another video here at Euphoric Sports. The quarterfinals has officially just ended. Switzerland and Portugal just ended, and Portugal absolutely decimated Switzerland by a lot of goals, a lot of, controversial stuff that have been happening with surrounding Portugal and Ronaldo, but we'll get into it. I went 7 for 8 on my predictions in the quarterfinals. I got every single one right. Really, we had no upsets except Morocco beating Spain. Spain was favored preview to the game, even though Morocco was first in the group. And Morocco played a fantastic game, parking the bus all the way, took them to penalties, knew they would win in penalties. Spain got severely unlucky with that Sarabia last play, hitting the post was absolutely I thought that was gonna go in. He missed. Then I knew Morocco, if it went to penalties, they were gonna win. But anyways, the one I got wrong was Netherlands, USA. Maybe a little biased in that, but Netherlands go through. They looked really, really clinical. Not strong, but clinical. And that's the thing about them. They're counter-attacking team who finished their chances, which will be complicated for Argentina. So let's get into our quarterfinals. Hopefully we get all of them right. Netherlands, Argentina now. I know a lot of people are picking Argentina. I've been saying Argentina is destined to win it for Messi and all this and that, but I'm going to go with the hot take here, and I'm going to say the Netherlands win. The thing about Argentina is they struggle against Australia. They really struggled against a weak Australia team, and if Australia had a little bit more quality, they would have won to overtime, and who knows what happens at the end. Australia had that one opportunity that they missed. Absolutely lucky. And honestly, if Argentina would have won 3-0, like how I predicted, I thought it was going to be 3-4-0. They're going to get past Australia, no problems. I would have said they beat Netherlands and they go to semifinals, but it just wasn't a good look, in my opinion. You barely survive Australia. Now you're going to play Netherlands, who is the 8th ranked team from an Australia team that wasn't really ranked in the top 20. Like, come on. You got to show me a little bit more. They have a problem with finishing. Lautaro Martinez cannot finish for anything. He is like Higuain for Argentina. That's what he's looking like. Now, I got Netherlands in the semifinals, and who will they be facing? I think it's an obvious one, Brazil. They look dominant against Korea. That is the type of performance that I was expecting from Argentina to Australia, the one Brazil had. Dominant in the first half. Second half, you take out everybody who has a yellow card, and then you move on to the next round. You got to play that game, and you should win that game. And Brazil showed dominance. Croatia had a lot of problems with Japan, but I also thought the experience is going to outweigh Japan, and that ended up happening in the penalty shootout. Now, Croatia, I think they'll complicate it for Brazil. It won't be like Korea, Brazil. I think it'll be a lot closer. And, this game, Brazil, I think they're going to end up winning maybe 3-1. I think 3-1's a little bit, one goal less than Korea. And then the Netherlands, Argentina, I'll put a score on that. I think Netherlands, we're going to win 1-0. Then Brazil would end up playing Netherlands in the semifinal, and if that were to happen, Brazil would probably win. I think Brazil's so strong, and there's no way Brazil end up losing against Croatia or Netherlands or Argentina. I think they're in the final for sure, and then the final, who knows what happens. England versus France. This one's going to be a tough one. Now, this is all about matchups, in my opinion. All about matchups. And Mbappe, if he's going to be playing on the side where Luke Shaw, Maguire are going to be playing, because those two are going to be starting for sure, it's Mbappe's hat trick. Hat trick. I'm telling you right now, hat trick. And France just absolutely roll over England. But if Kyle Walker and John Stones are on the side Mbappe is, now things could get interesting for England. I think John Stones and Kyle Walker could put in a shift and could stop Mbappe, or at least minimize his threat. Because to be honest, this French team goes how Mbappe goes. And that's a fact. Nobody could tell me otherwise. Because really, a lot of their players are injured, and Mbappe has been the heart and soul of the team. And he, if he's on, the French team's on. And the French team, when he's on, is probably the best or second best team in the World Cup that is left. So if England can stop Mbappe, or at least help stop him, minimize him not having a career game, which is potentially going to happen if Luke Shaw and Maguire on him. But I think France will get it done. I think the Luke Shaw, Maguire, Gareth Southgate dying on his sword, not caring about anything but his favorites, and Luke Shaw, Maguire is going to be his downfall. And I think France are going to be, I'm sure Mbappe is going to start with Kyle Walker, and John Stones at first. And then they're gonna see it's not working. Mbappe's having issues with Kyle Walker since he's really fast. I know he's getting older, but he's still really fast. So what I'll probably end up seeing is Coman will end up switching sides. You're gonna see Mbappe with Luke Shaw Maguire, and that's when France is just gonna absolutely go at England. So France are in the semifinals. Morocco versus Portugal. Portugal just dominated 6-1 Switzerland. Now, the controversy is, does Portugal play better without Ronaldo? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say on that. They did just beat Switzerland 6-1. And I think Morocco goes in. They've only allowed one goal. Now, I don't think Ronaldo's gonna start against Morocco. I think that Ramos scored a hat trick. There's no way you sit him unless they change the formation and put Ronaldo and uh Ramos. But Morocco's gonna probably have a similar game plan to what they did to Spain. Will they take him to PKs? No, I don't think they want to take Portugal to PKs. I think they'll be a lot more aggressive attacking. With Spain, they were a lot more sit back, don't risk much. So the problem that Spain had was that they let Morocco, when they stole the ball, that player that got the ball would advance a lot because Gavi and Pedri aren't really good defensively. And I have a lot of criticism for them for how they played and how the penalty shootouts went with those two guys who are golden boys and didn't even step up to take a penalty. That shows the guts they have. But anyways, Fernando Santos, put his balls on the table and he leaves Ronaldo out, works out. He looks good right now, I guess. Morocco is going to be heavily defensive. If Portugal want to win that game, they want to get the first goal and they want to get that in the first half. If they get 1-0 Morocco in the first half, they're going to win that game. But if Morocco is taking them if it's 0-0 at halftime, things could get ugly for Portugal. And I think Ronaldo, would I start him? I would start him, but I don't think he's going to be starting. Fernando Santos just had a 6-1 win against Switzerland, are in the quarterfinals for the first time since 2006. Ronaldo's not starting that game. I'm sorry for you Ronaldo fans. And I would start him, but he wouldn't start. He's not going to start. Morocco, I think Portugal's going to go through. Morocco, it's been a hell of a story. I think you're like one of 4 African teams that made the quarterfinals. I don't see you in the semifinals. Portugal look really nice. I think they've looked the most impressive out of any of the teams so far, besides Brazil. Maybe Brazil's better. France versus Portugal, right there. It would be a matchup, wouldn't it? But I've seen France struggle a lot with Portugal, and I think things would not change. I think Portugal would end up going through. Portugal do have the players to stop Mbappe. I believe they've got an aggressor in Pepe. I know he's older, but you also have Ruben Diaz. You have a ton of fullbacks that could, any of them but Guerreiro, I could see sitting on Mbappe. They have what they can to answer. And then Brazil would be Portugal, would be in the final with Portugal. And I'm just going to say it right now, the story's too good to not be true. If Argentina or Portugal get to the final, they'll probably end up winning it because I do not see either of those countries in the final and losing unless both of them are in there. But yeah, as of now, I got Portugal still. They look crazy, and we'll see what they do with Ronaldo. I think it's a really interesting thing. I think that could either be the uprise of Portugal or the downfall of Portugal. But we're gonna be seeing them in the final 100%. I would bet a lot of money that they're at least in the final. If they win it, I don't know, but I think Brazil and Portugal, we're gonna have a nice little final there. That's what it's gonna end up happening. A lot of people are trying to say no, it's not gonna happen. France, Brazil is the final, but yeah, Portugal just statement game. That's all I gotta say. But anyways, leave a comment down below what you think about my predictions and let your predictions down in the comment down below and leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I want to know what your thoughts on the Ronaldo situation is. At the end of the day, he is a legend, and his last World Cup. What I want to say lastly is that Ronaldo carried a Portuguese national team with very low quality players when he was in his prime, and he gave them a Euro, gave them a Nations League. He, carried them to World Cups. He had them, playing a lot higher level than they should have because of him and his leadership. And I know this kind of, you can be like, oh man, you're really sucking him off right now. No, It's not that. I just think Ronaldo's a legend to the game, and the same thing was happening to Messi. I would probably say the same. They both impacted their nation the last 15 years, 20 years, and it's a disrespect at the end of the day. Yeah, you got a youngster in Ramos. He's done well, but it's Ronaldo's last World Cup, and Portugal owe it to Ronaldo to let him play. I understand the attitude thing is a problem. I'm noticing it as a fan of his. I guess you could say that he's having kind of an attitude problem, but I think it's one of those that, it's his last World Cup. He wants to score goals. He wants all this, and he gets really frustrated. It's passion. He wants to be the best still, and I can respect that. And I just believe that it's owed to him by Portugal to let him start. It's owed. It is owed. But anyways, I want to know what you guys have to think. I'd like to debate you guys if we disagree, or maybe you convince me and I change my mind. I come out here and I'm like, you know what? This comment right here really had me thinking. I'm gonna change my mind. But anyways, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See you for the next one.